Oh gosh, I'm live. Morning. Just myself. Props. I got props. I'm a prop guy. Still getting comfortable with this. So, so I had a NHI. Hi, first of all, whoever's watching, whenever this is viewed, my name's Aiden Schaefer. It is 8:45 Tuesday morning. This is a response to Ross Coulthard talking about the blue people. For the past couple of years, I've been involved with the the Alternative Propulsion Engineering Conference. I taught Mark Sokol some of the basics of manufacturing, told him what tools to buy for inside Falcon Space in the machining area, and helped build a clean room. Not really, but cleanish area for a CVD machine, and anyway, got some experience on RF engineering based off of my education from UNM. I spent a lot of time in UNM in the electrical engineering labs after I finished my business lectures and lived close to the campus on purpose. So this summer, or back in May, I flew over to Latvia for part of a week. And then when I came back Friday, it was a super long day. Saturday was full of a lot of energy. Had some good ideas from taking the vacation. The vacation sucked, but that's another story, live chat elsewhere. Saturday night, going into Sunday morning, I can't really go to sleep. Finally, around like 2 or 3 in the morning, sleep approaches, and as I'm going asleep in the bed, started off with a buzz. It was like a, and then it changed pitch from lower to higher pitch or something, while I was buzzing, there was this. It was started off with a blue, then red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, flashing blue, red. It became increasingly complex and then turned into a checkerboard. And then evolved into a ring with a dot in the middle of it. I should have a pen somewhere on me. Well, there's a crop circle I'll reference. I'll drop a link to the crop circle in the chat. So the first image in the thing, buzzing, I've stopped listening to the buzzing. I'm paying more attention to the flashing checkerboard, which is blue and red. Circle, the big dot in the middle, and around here I go, oh, fuck this, and then it resolves into looking into a young girl's butt. And then there's this voice that says, what are your thoughts about this? And I go, I don't know, protective. And it goes, very good, we may proceed. And then this, looking at this girl's ass, obviously she's too young. The visions goes out. So since I'm feeling protective, she's just like, it said, what do you want her to do? I'm like, go home and see her mom. Is she safe? And that she walks, the vision proceeds. I'm in a detached above, like a detached observer floating up above. Watch the girl go down the street, go into a house, and then the vision focuses over onto this woman's face. And then the view kind of focuses in through the window, like, I don't know, like a scene out of WandaVision or something. Don't know who the woman's face is. The girl comes into view. They start interacting. And then the view zooms out and away. And then like I get an awareness of shrubs and whatnot. And then as the focus is going out, the focus is coming in on the guy's face, the speaker, which it goes from being a mom, a female Earth, into one of the tall grays. Like, y'all know the face, but it wasn't the eye. There were eyeballs, fluid features, and then I'm going to pause briefly from the dream vision to real life waking world. At this point, I'm still just in my bed. Like, this is all an inner vision, and it's in blue and red light. Guaranteed, would be one of the small spheres outside of my house that I was at, and it's projecting. It's probably cloaked, so nobody can see it, and it just came down, floated down by the house, and there's an invisible sphere outside the house. And you'd be able to see it if you had infrared goggles, not infrared, but either RF gear for listening to the propulsion field or goggles with UV light. Be looking around, and all of a sudden there'd be like a 1 meter sphere up above the house, glowing bright blue, ultraviolet. I think that's a blue wavelength. Anyway, so these blue people. So back to the dude's head. It does this like, it's like, we're going to work on keeping your neurochemistry scientific. And then it just goes, and it gets vivisected, flayed outwards. See, I'm already up to like 6 minutes. Mind you, we keep talking. I don't know what we're talking about, but parts of it I do recall. And I'll get back to that. So they said that we're going to keep your neurochemistry more scientific. There's something I had learned while growing up around Los Alamos that's pertinent to all this. It was going to be an upload-download session. Around this time, it goes from being this alien's face to a guy sitting like headless, wearing denim. I could see the little Sandia logo. That was some of the stuff that I learned, or something I've been around the nuclear weapons industry. My working vocab of nuclear physics and the Standard Model, stuff like that. Headless Sandian. There was one other thing, wasn't there? So overall, it's just probably like three things. At the end, it's more of a body awareness. I come back to being aware of the buzzing, and then my sense of breath, and then all of a sudden there's this like tall, like outward. It's something you experience in like Kundalini yoga and such, but it's an activation of certain, like the pineal gland and points up here. Next thing I know, I can feel it or smell it's like sulfury, kind of icky smell, and then it felt like I was breathing in mud, and difficult to breathe. And then there was this whole, the session had been uploaded into the mesh network of the little guys floating around it here, and I felt it hit one crew and then bifurcate and go out all over the. There's, I don't know, probably 60 to 80 of these things floating around the world at any given time. And then the little spheres are down in the neighborhood. Why I know this is from the second time in 2012 when I saw optical cloaking. And the vehicle released a sphere that went down into Ciudad Juarez. And that's a whole other stream I should do. So recounting from, so that was in May 21st. It's called like 3 or 4 in the morning. I never left the bed, but it wasn't a dream. It was this it's like a technological based DMT trip. What's inside what is inside these? Did I do that yet? Maybe I did. Tech model. So yeah, I don't know shit about flying saucers. The camera's up there. I'm down here looking at So depending on where to keep eye contact. It's like you just want eye contact with yourself when you're doing this. Well, so that summer, what I worked on was trying to attempt the multi-metal laminate arts parts, just getting familiar with working with magnesium and zinc and trying to laminate it. Found out there was a company in New York that has the right type of mill in order to squish. They already are squishing steel and aluminum together for some reason. So magnesium and zinc is much easier. You'd probably build your billets or the layers inside of a steel box. And there are ways of building a box and keeping the air out of it. The zinc oxide afterwards, you want to have it cool, and then as soon as it hits the atmosphere, you're going to get some zinc oxide formation, and that's kind of hazardous. People working around that will it's a heavy metal, so it slows you down. Like the next day, you're just like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. They're all toxins, so that's a concern in making the material. It feels funny when you start rubbing it around, but it feels kind of floaty when I spin it. This is a neodymium magnet. Danger, danger. So, in my work environment, I shall not fuck with these. Here's a little one. Okay, two little ones. Right, some magnets. I probably sound like a tard, but anyway, this is the metal, and it's paramagnetic. You have to play with it in strong magnetic fields in order to start to feel what I'm feeling. So paramagnetic alloys, the lines run parallel. You have to know which way the field is, and here there's invisible force, right? We all know this. So anyway, the saucers, I spent the summer trying to make or learn if it's possible to produce this whole material. Yeah, no, I'm not educated. I have a fucking business degree. I do nothing. All right, so it is possible. Some complexity within the alien piece. Y'all, if you're in the UFO world at any sort of technical level, you know what I'm talking about. It's a little triangular piece, and there's a whole bunch of layering. So by folding and using very thin foils, magnesium, it's the zinc that's melting and doing the holding that holds the magnesium. So it doesn't want to explode. It does want to oxidize. So if you're able to put extra protons in there that maybe block oxidization points on the exterior, that could be what some of the, right, because magnesium, it's like 18, 19, 17, 18, 19, or is that the Farmington thing? I need the isotope chart. So I can start talking about the different isotopes of magnesium. So hypothetically, the higher magnesium, I wonder if having like magnesium 20 or magnesium 23 or whatever the F the isotope number is, prevents it from oxidizing, because this is nasty. When I welded it, it was nice and shiny. Did the aliens help with that? Maybe, maybe not. So let's go to, I think in July, at the end of July is when the crop circle appeared. And yeah, so this is like a 10-minute rant, 15 minutes even. We had an APEC meeting, or it was July 21st, 22nd. Ooh, that's strong. Wow, there's a torque. That is neat. Little ones, like I can feel a twist with the little. It's what you're trying to learn to play with. And right out here, there's some topologies in these fields, and learning to play with them, and you can get in there and get a real good. There's some force. That's neat. Can't feel it, but I can. Anyway, learn to play with strong magnets carefully. They'd like to explode. They make wonderful tool holding. Anyway, stop. Oh, this is raw. Anyway, the voice of God thing on a Monday night after. So we had a Monday afternoon business engineering meeting for Falcon Space and APEC in July. That was my idea. Finally got implemented. One of the few things. Mark wanted to have the meetings at the end of the week, and was like, everybody's tired. Nobody's doing anything. Let's shift it to the beginning of the week and have a follow-up at the end of the week. That structure has probably not developed yet, but except for Apex every 2 weeks, isn't it now? Kind of, sort of. It's not going to go anywhere. The power systems are nuclear in nature. It's not possible to take Falcon Space any further in the public or out in public territory. It is dangerous. It's a nuclear material. When you power up the vehicle, you get an initial. You're fucking around with the strong nuclear force, so you get gamma ray bursts as you generate the electric field on the outside. It's not. I've had people in Redstone, Mr. Pickens, he clued me in onto that. So, like, if you're building one of these, you're going to want to put a big berm around it for doing test firing of the initial warm-up and conditioning of the field once the hull is completed. I don't know what I'm talking about. Fucking full of shit, right? UFO Twitter. It's a warfare technology, so I'm highly empathic from years of inner practice. So that's also. I'm all over the place trying to talk about the fucking voice of God thing. Started out, I was going to sleep. I saw the circle with the dot. And I'm laying in bed, and next thing I know, like, I'm aware of my inner life, and sometimes you catch music. Sometimes, if I like reading because that helps pacify the wetware makes up shit. and learning to focus is a habit. Anyway, the inner monologue turns into Tim Vinter and Mark Sokol talking back and forth, and very reactive. And they're saying, this is a voice of God technology demonstration. So that was the night of July, I guess, 23rd. I wonder why it's verklempt. I'm a little verklempt for some reason. Excuse me. Due to my inner training from the years I've spent at a Buddhist monastery, I've learned to try to find stillness and quiet within the inner monologue, and sometimes you can't. It just wants to do its own thing. But I have learned ways of being forceful about making stream of consciousness go quiet. So during this thing, I was like, the voice of God demonstration between Tim, and it was using Tim's voice at the end of it. And I was like, okay, so you're not Tim. They're like, nope, this is a voice of God. It's like, it was a very funny discussion. I was like, okay, well, F this. I'm going to bed. I've done inner work at a Buddhist monastery. Good night, guys. And went, and just shut off the voice. I think I probably had to get up. But at the beginning, it started out with the red flashing, and then it was that the ring with the dot. So let's go to July 23rd. I'll just put this in. Let's see, it's already 20 minutes. July 30th, there's this crop circle that appears in southern UK. It looks like a checkerboard pattern with this, like, it looks like the all-seeing eye, I think is what the interwebs have labeled it. But it triggers the visions, the sequence of visions. It triggered it. I was like, okay, it was very eerie. And this is October. So I'm just recounting. This is a testimony of my inner life. Yeah, the non-human inner intelligences are interacting with us. Now I'm a fucking human. I'm from Taos, New Mexico, and I think I will end at that.